What's going on, everybody? Here today with another Bodhi Tree mental health video. On this channel I talk about my own journey to severe mental illness, mainly OCD and severe chronic anxiety. I wanted to do a video response to a comment that I had from a viewer. He said, do you still take Finasteride? Or is it like playing with an empty gun? And I like that analogy, and I took that as you wouldn't play with an empty gun. Even though it couldn't hurt you, wouldn't hurt playing around with an empty gun, pointing it around at people if you know it was empty and pow, pow, pow. But you wouldn't play around with an empty gun because you just don't play around with guns, period. And so I think took that analogy as, hey, you know, maybe you're right. Maybe Finasteride doesn't cause these severe side effects, this post-Finasteride syndrome. Maybe this really is in a lot of people's heads. But maybe you just don't mess with it anyways. So do you still take Finasteride? Now that you say, you claim that that you have OCD, that you have anxiety, did you go back to taking Finasteride? The question is yes. Yes, I did. I have the pill bottle right here. Finasteride, 1 milligram. Right here, that's that pill. And I want to say a couple things about taking this pill. I wouldn't recommend somebody taking this pill that is in the grips of OCD or anxiety or this PFS. Clearly, this pill affects your hormones. That's why it works. Also, people do have real side effects on this drug. That's substantiated by the clinical trials. The big claim that I made on this video, and I think a lot of doctors made, is that a lot of the cases of people with PFS actually are suffering from OCD or anxiety, and those symptoms, those anxiety OCD symptoms, can explain much of what PFS sufferers are suffering from. So a lot of the people that suffer from PFS are really just suffering from anxiety and depression. And if you talk to anybody that just has anxiety and depression, they will also probably tell you they have a low sex drive and fatigue and, all types of weird symptoms. Because when your nervous system is shattered, essentially, there's a whole lot of weird shit that you experience. So I wouldn't recommend somebody going back on Finasteride. I didn't go back on Finasteride until some months ago. I wasn't, because, you really do have a hormonal imbalance if you have this PFS or this OCD or whatever it is. You really do have a hormonal imbalance. So you don't want to put any type of outside pressure on that hormonal imbalance whatsoever. You want to allow your body to heal. However, if you get to a stage where you really see yourself improving, then it may be something that you can take again, once you really realize that, this is an anxiety disorder. This is not post-Finasteride syndrome. And so I've been taking this pill, and I don't take it every day. I take it two times a week, because there's no real reason to take this pill every single day. If you've looked at the clinical research, Finasteride stays in your system Finasteride stays in your system, I think up to 30 days. And I think it has some effect on some clinical effect on your DHT levels for, at least 7 days, I think, So if you take it every single day, first off, it's pointless, because I don't think that really would make a difference. I think the most you would really ever need to take this is every other day. And then also, taking it 2 times a week would mitigate somewhat against having, any type of negative side effects. And I think a lot of doctors are in agreement with that. I've seen doctors speak about that on YouTube before. And I would even go as far as to say that really, if you wanted to mitigate the side effects to the utmost degree and still see some effect, I'm pretty sure you could take this drug 1 time a week and still see some reduction in hair loss. I think you could my personal opinion, I think, is that 1 time a week would probably be like a maintenance. It would be like a slowing. to be like a maintenance. I think at 2 times a week, it's like a strong maintenance, and I think you could see some regrowth on 2 times a week. Every other day would be like the max, because I don't even see a point in taking it every day. I mean, unless you just want to take it every day, you never experienced any side effects or anything like that. So it brings me to the final thing is that, hey, you say that you take finasteride every day, so how is your libido? How's your sexual function? Well, my sexual function is been progressively getting better as my anxiety and OCD have been getting better. You know, I've been taking this pill for another 5 or 6 months, and I haven't seen any reduction in my libido because of this pill, taking it whatsoever. Now, I do have a below what I used to be. I mean, before I developed these type of psychological problems, I had a really high libido. I mean, and I needed to get off in some way. You all know what I mean. Like every single day, well, not in a compulsive way, but I just that's what I had to do pretty much every day because my hormones. I mean, I had a pretty high sex drive. You know, it was a high sex drive. I mean, every single day I needed to. I had a strong urge to release. I had a strong, healthy urge to release every single day. I was 27 years old, and so 5 years later, because unfortunately I've been suffering with these psychological problems since I was 27 now, 2017, until now, 2022, almost 5 years, going on 5 years, I'm still able to perform, and I still, I still relieve myself. I still masturbate. All right, my libido has improved as my OCD and anxiety has gotten better, and my masturbation has increased to like, almost every day I masturbate. Now, the sex drive that I have now versus what I had before is not exactly the same. It's not like before. But I still have sexual function. I wouldn't be able to masturbate every single day if I had like a really low testosterone levels. My testosterone levels are not optimal. Because I know what it feels like to have that strong sex drive every day, all the time. I remember what that was like. So I don't have that now, but I'm not 100% better from my OCD and anxiety. I still suffer from daily anxiety and OCD and depression and all these psychological symptoms. I still suffer from them. So I'm not 100%, and my sex drive isn't 100%, but my sex drive is functional. It is functional. I'm in a long distance relationship with my girlfriend, but when I was with my girlfriend, I am with my girlfriend, I'm able to have sex. We have sex every time. I was, I'm getting very personal here, but fuck it. I usually sometimes I say my girlfriend. This was back in October, and my anxiety was still pretty fucking bad. I was with her for like 10 or 12 days, and we had sex like 4 times one day, and then like every single day after that. So most of the time when we're together, we have sex every single day. So, not the strong, passionate, I can't say that. Maybe the first, maybe some of the times, yes, some of the times, no. Not the strong, passionate, like, level that I was at before I had OCD and anxiety. I've been open with that with her, which goes into a whole nother video I should really do on is how to talk to your partner if you have these type of problems. Because one of the things is, like, I believe is you just got to be completely open. And like I told her, was like, I have this. My sex drive isn't 100%. My body is not, the way that it was. I'm fucked up. So, sex, if the sex isn't up to, this type of, if the sex isn't super fucking good or whatever, then all I'm telling you is that, all I can do in the bedroom is the fucking best that I can do. That's it. You know what I'm saying? I'm fucked up in my head. So, the sex isn't the sex, I'm not the lover. I'm not the I'm not the lover that I once was. But that don't mean that I won't be that lover again at some time. But this isn't the time, because right now I'm working on my mental health. And so having that type of open, I know I was just going off, having that open discourse with her, she understands, like, this is what it is. But I think that it feels good to push through your psychological symptoms. You can have a sexual relationship, you know what I mean? Maybe it's not the greatest, but if you're able to perform, like I said, I'm able to perform, I'm able to have sex, I'm able to have a sex life, you know, at this point in the game, you know. Maybe it's not, like I said, not 100%, but it's something. It's something. It's fucking something, yo. You know, I'm able to, if I could have sex every single day, I could have sex every single day. So, yo, my whole point is, I'm rambling on and on and on. All I'm saying is that, yes, I'm able to have a sex life. But yes, my libido is not completely fucking shot. But at one time, it was a lot fucking worse. So it has to do with your hormones. And your hormones are probably the last thing to come, like, your whole fucking body is wrecked when you have OCD and you have anxiety. So your hormones, all right, are going to be probably the last thing that, you know, the last thing that actually completely stabilizes. You know what I mean? And actually reaches optimum levels. Because as long as your nervous system is in this state of fight or flight, your body's going to be suppressing your testosterone levels. When you're 100% better, and then maybe need some more time after that for you to regain, okay, to regain that optimal hormonal level. Because when you're completely relaxed and happy and not fucked up in your head anymore, and completely present and calm in your life, then your body's naturally going to signal, okay, it's time to reproduce, time to reproduce, time to reproduce. It's going to, it's natural. This is you have to understand, one of the things is that we are in a human body that's primary function is to reproduce. This is what the human body is here to do. Sex drive and libido and appetite and thirst and everything that we do beyond conceptual art and philosophy and everything else, the majority of people here, and this is one of the things that you don't get when you're so in your head, because you can't really see reality clearly. We're here in a human body to fucking reproduce. That's why we're fucking here. That's what we're all here to do. That's our #1 physiological goal. And so your body is going to fucking get your shit working again if you do the proper things. You know, if you continue to work on your mental health, your body, if you continue to train your mind is going to get better. It's going to make your body, as your mind gets better, it's going to, as you heal your mind, you'll heal your brain, you'll heal your fucking body. And when your body is completely healed, your body is going to, because your body is literally designed to reproduce, your libido will come back. Maybe it won't come back to the levels that you were at before, but once again, you know, look, I've been sick for 5 years. Do I expect my libido to be 100% what it was 5 years ago? I'm going to be 32. The last time my libido was really fucking kicking, I was 27. So I was in my mid-20s. Now I'm in my early 30s. 5-year stretch. You know, maybe my fucking libido isn't going to be, you know, what it was 5 fucking years ago. But I think it should still be pretty fucking good. You know what I mean? So it's just taking all these things into account. You know, when it comes to recovering from OCD, anxiety, this post-finasteride syndrome, or whatever, it's just a matter of this is, I've rambled on. I've pretty much said everything I can say about it from every motherfucking angle. So I hope this video finds you well. Peace, y'all.